Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ascension eSports Dragon League. My name is Stretch, and joining me today is the one, the only, the ever-lovable Huppilicious. How you doing, dude?
Doing all right. Looking for a really hype game.
I'll keep my head down.
I'm excited to see what's coming on the Rift tonight.
Yeah, man. Today we've got two exquisite teams for you guys. The Guardian Angels face up against Team NEIN in this week's matchup for you. And hopefully, like you said, we're going to have some good games coming out here. Once again, still getting that 10-ban system rolling. These guys are popping off, with the first two bans being Quinn and J4. Kind of a little bit different from what you typically see.
It might be different, but these guys have clearly done their research. Both of those bans are taken away from their top laners. Icebound Killer being really good on that J4 here recently, and the Quinn also being taken away. I'm sorry, the Quinn being taken away from Brando Calrissian. Thing about the Thresh ban, Raffle Knife was originally the top laner for Team NEIN. Their support left, so he decided to fill that role. We see the Thresh taken away from him, and that's like the one thing he plays.
Yeah, and how big of an impact is that going to have on this match? Like you were saying, coming out of that top lane role, it's a very different play style. Is he going to be able to make that turn to a different support quick enough? I guess we're going to have to see that, but what is your read on that? Have you seen this guy play before? Do you think he's going to be able to make that change?
I've only seen him play top. I have not seen him play support.
All right.
In this season of Dragon League, or well, any season for that matter. So I don't know how impactful it's going to be. Maybe he's got a pocket pick, a secret weapon from a previous season. We're just going to have to wait and find out.
Yep. Speaking of secret weapons, Zach, along with the pairing of Draven and Vi, the next three bans to come off the board here. Zach, widely regarded as one of the strongest champions to take out of that pick ban rotation. Vi, Draven, up to speculation, but I definitely think that those are two good contenders as well.
All of these so far have been target bans, targeting the ADC, the jungler in the top lane, knocking them off of their mains, so to speak. All six of those champions that have been banned really strong with the people that wanted those champions.
Yep. The pocket picks definitely a fantastic thing to remove from this pick ban rotation, but let's get started with the actual picks of this first round. Icebound Killer on the Guardian Angels picking up that Karma, and Brando Calrissian responding in kind, picking up that Leona for their support. So it looks like we have two potential support picks straight out of the gate.
Both teams are definitely going to want to keep their, as I was about to say, they pick one of their powerhouses, but trying to keep those guys for later on, for the final picks, so they'll have more of a chance to counter the other team with the decision of their picks.
Right. Next three picks to come through: the Twitch, Gragas, and Galio. Twitch, Galio, Karma so far for the Guardian Angels suggest that they're really relying on Gloryhound to really perform this late game. So really putting a lot of pressure on the shoulders of their AD carry so far.
Definitely, and especially with straight up picking Twitch within the first rotation of picks. Now the enemy team's like, okay, now we need to kind of adjust our playstyle a little bit to kind of counteract what we're going to have to deal with mid to late game. Yep.
Gragas, Kayle picked up now for Team NEIN. Kayle actually one of the champions that we haven't seen quite often, at least in terms of pro play, but she has fantastic late game scaling and damage potential, so if they can get this player directly into that late game position, they should be able to lean on a very high damage source there.
I definitely agree with you there, but we do see the Ahri ban coming out. Everyone is still... they're all still target bans. Like the Kled, another really strong champion with Brando Calrissian. But I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't take the Rumble away from him, especially with his Rumble having currently a 75% win rate this season.
Yeah, and part of that might be because they expect this Galio to perform very well against it in the top lane, having that magic damage shield and being able to trade very efficiently with the taunt damage reduction as well. That might be the plan for them, use this Galio as that counter pick, but like you were saying, when you've got someone who's as comfortable as Brando Calrissian is on his Rumble, he might not even be a factor for him. He might be able to cut straight through it, but either way, just taking a glance at the bans once again, like you were saying, we got that Ari picked up off the board, and to follow that, they picked up Sejuani and Kled, so two very strong initiators taken away from the pick rotation here.
And it looks like the side of Guardian Angel will be losing a ban. I'm not entirely sure why. They have all their people, so they should be able to have all their bans. Maybe they just decided that they didn't need to ban anything else.
Yeah, I guess so. Either that or they might have some sort of emergency sub. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like that the pick for their top lane... Wait, okay, so they've got some flexibility on how they want to run these lanes here on Team 9. The Kayle and the Echo can definitely swap positions very easily. Not only that, but Echo can jungle, and they can send Gragas into the top lane. So a lot of options onto in terms of where they want to send these guys, but regardless of what they choose, it's always going to be an AP champion facing up against this Galio.
Definitely not what you want to really take into a Galio, an AP champ. But if they're comfortable on it, they know that they can work with it.
Or not.
Ooh.
I'm getting tossed all over the place. It looks like that this might be just a Kayle ADC. Fiora was left wide open, which is probably the best pick you can even have against this Galio.
I believe that one of these champions on the side of Team 9 is a placeholder, and it is.
Yep, we'll be a placeholder here.
Is.
Not everyone has all of the champions in the game, so as we step out of the champ select and get ready to pop back in it for a few couple of seconds, we are going to see what that last pick is. Guys, hang on with us for just a second, but after seeing the team comps that these guys are trying to go for at the very least, how do you think these teams are going to stack up? Because like I was saying earlier on, it looks like Gloryhound on that Twitch, if that is the champion that they meant to go here and that's not a placeholder, they're really putting a lot of focus on protecting him in the late game with the Karma and the Galio pickup. Do you think he's going to be able to perform well enough to put the team essentially on his back for the damage?
I mean, I don't really know. Looking on the side of Team 9, they had a pretty good front line there. They have good. Both teams are actually very well rounded with what they're trying to do.
I shall endure.
I honestly don't know. I'm kind of. I'd have to see what ADC the side of Team 9 would pick, so we could get like a full idea of what what their strategy is behind this. But with a Galio and a Karma, I mean that's more than enough time to let a Twitch just melt a team.
Understood.
Definitely have to get that protection going down, otherwise your team is subject to a lot of long-range damage. And if I remember correctly, there's not a lot of divers that were picked up by the likes of Team 9. It was very much frontally team fight oriented. The one thing that they had to really protect them from that damage was the Kayle pickup, and even that might have ended up being their placeholder there, but Fiora is definitely their pick for that top lane matchup.
Yeah, with that, I just want to point out that a Mumu ult and Galio ult combo, that's going to be a very interesting. See if they're going to be able to work that and just utterly destroy team fights with the Twitch fire on top of it. And oh, it looks like Guardian Angel also had a placeholder. I don't remember who they had, but it's Lux.
Yep, Lux picked up there. Now that could be replacing the Karma pickup they had earlier on. I don't think it will be. They might be going for like a double full team shield style composition, and then once again putting the Twitch down. But we'll see how that ends up shaking out. These guys once again just moving through the ban phase very quickly, making sure that they don't ban anything that was picked up by the enemy team last game.
Now I'm just mad.
And we'll see how these last four picks round out.
And we see the Garen troll coming out from Spaciness. Did that a lot last week too.
Yep, no Garen this time. Once again, Twitch picked up.
No Garen.
And I guess the Kayle was a placeholder for this Varus pick, because I do not remember seeing that in the last pick ban phase we just had.
Nope, that was indeed the placeholder.
All right, cool. So I guess we have enough to really analyze what these two team comps are looking at here. It's very straightforward on what team or what the Guardian Angels are really looking to do here. They want hard team fight initiation through their Galio and their Amumu with the follow-up damage of Lux and Twitch. A lot of mobility through the Karma as well, but I think that they might be able to get negated here. There's a lot of kiting potential and peeling potential on Team 9's composition. Do you think that these guys are going to be able to hold out and catch someone outright, or who do you think is going to have the advantage in this matchup? Is, I guess, based on a team on the team comps that they have.
Based on team comps, well, like you said, Guardian Angel, it is a let's protect the Twitch comp and give him, open lanes of fire. But Team 9 has a very, we're going to split them up and kill them off one at a time. Now the question is I think honestly what the question really is Team 9 going to be able to split the team off of Twitch in order to get to them? Because that's honestly what I think is going to be the key factor here, is whether Twitch goes down or not.
Yeah, Twitch
just based off of the champion itself.
Right. He's got to make sure that he stays up in the team fight to round out this damage here. And not only that, but I think they really need to put some focus on this Twitch in the earlier stages of the game and make sure that he is in a position to really do that late game damage, because against the Leona Varus composition, once level 6 hits, this Twitch does not have the mobility to escape that engage potential. He's got to watch his positioning and make sure that he does not misstep at all. And if possible, like I was saying, make sure that he's got a gold advantage, because if not, he's just going to get completely locked up and bursted.
I completely agree with you. And then also, if you think about it, if Twitch gets ganked early by the Gragas with, just even a level 3 gank, where Leona Varus each level 3, Gragas comes down, just that one gank that they're not prepared for, that could honestly spell the end for the game. I think we're going to see a lot of early game pressure, or we're going to feel a lot of pressure as each team kind of stands toe-to-toe but doesn't really exchange blows. But I am kind of at a loss right now. It's literally going to be, can each person, each team do what their comp is and make it work better than the other team, and quicker, obviously, to get the advantage.
Yeah, and really quick, talk to me about this Fiora up in the top lane, because we've seen some weeks, at least over in Elder League, where Fiora will get a couple kills early on. Usually it's a 2v1 scenario where she picks up both kills and then absolutely takes over the entirety of the map. Icebound Killer, I feel like, has been really pigeonholed into this Galio pick, and now that Fiora is on the board, it is a problem. How much do you think that's going to undermine the goal of the Guardian Angels to put this pressure bottom lane? Because I feel like Galio's going to need to have some assistance against the Fiora. If she gets one kill, I feel like she's going to absolutely pop off.
And that's the thing, though. Fiora was a great pick going into Galio. Just great pick. And I don't think that he could have done, picked really anything better. And honestly, I think Amumu, Angel of Ninja, is going to have to make a decision of whether to help the top laner out, so that way Galio will be able to help him, keep the Twitch safe and all that. Or is he going to go down bot lane and try to get the Twitch fed early? He's going to have to pick one of the two, and I can't see the future, so I couldn't tell you which one is going to work out in favor of that. But I think that the jungler of Guardian Angel is definitely going to have to pick and choose the battles very carefully, because that could be a very deciding factor in this.
Yep. And we are going straight into the loading screen here, guys. We will be right back with you. Once again, the matchup is Guardian Angels versus Team 9. Game number 1 of the Ascension eSports Dragon League in week number 3. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes. And we are just about ready to go. I'm going to flip on some Summoner's Rift basic music for you guys. Once again, welcome back to the Ascension eSports Dragon League cast. Once again, my name is Stretch, and joining me today on the color casting is Huppilicious. Huppilicious, how you feeling about this matchup?
I think it's going to be very hypey. We're going to see a lot of decision-making plays early game that will decide the outcome of mid to late.
Very true, and I'm always interested to see how these players decide to place themselves in the early portion of the game, because it really sets the tone as to how they've been coached, if they do have one, or how they've organized their own play. Some teams like to get very defensive and do a 5-point start. Other ones want to form up into a fist and try to punch into the enemy team's jungle to get some deep vision, but looks like these guys are, for the most part, staying safe, making sure that they don't get caught out and set their team behind in the early minutes.
No, definitely, and fairly standard starts all around for both teams. Varus did start off with the Doran Shield. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's actually interesting that you bring that up, because Doran's Shield is now a lot less effective than it was before. The big selling point for Doran's Shield in the bottom lane was the cost would allow you to get that second potion and really out-sustain someone who went with the Doran's Blade start. But now that he's down on one potion, I feel like it just lowers his burst potential for when Leona really wants to go in for a fight. It's a little bit anti-synergetic for the support that he's got there with him, and I don't really suspect that it's going to help him in this lane that much. That being said, a little bit of poke coming out of Arrow Cross against Raffle. Wait, is that Raffle Knife? Yes, Raffle Knife with just an N.
Yep, Raffle Knife with just an N, okay, but that is 8 gold.
That's true. Technical advantage, the best kind of advantage. And Angel of Ninja starting off this red buff on Amumu, a little bit interesting there. Typically you see Amumu start that blue buff and see if they can keep their mana high, but a nice strong leash from the bottom lane ensures that he doesn't have to expend too much of that pool to get through it. Top lane, a little bit of trading back and forth between Brando Calrissian and Icebound Killer. Bottom lane already. Spaciness going aggressive, and here's where you want to see him have that Doran's Blade, because when you make that trade, it's a little bit dumbed down. Not having that extra AD under your belt means that your abilities just do not chunk as hard as they normally would. Setting the tone of that lane as we see Brando once again going in for a vital against Icebound Killer in the top lane, making sure that he controls that minion wave and keeps his lane dominance going. As we see a little bit of a cheeky invade here from Angel of Ninja, it looks like. I guess he got some intel that Gragas was starting off on the top side of the jungle there and will try to steal away their blue buff. Over the wall, it looks like Gragas is just trying to do a full clear onto the wolf camp, not knowing that during this entire time, his blue buff is getting snatched away. And that will give a little bit of an advantage to this Amumu player. Mid lane, it looks like Angel of Night is able to land a root onto Rock and Roll Kid. Rock and Roll Kid a little bit too far into turret to really react. His bottom lane, Raffle Knife gets poked out of the lane once again against Arrow Cross and Glory Hound. These guys just making sure that they do not give their ground up in this laning phase.
And we definitely see what we were talking about earlier, Brando punishing Icebound Killer.
Yep. Mid lane looks like a good belly slam onto Angel of Night, but they're just too aware of the timing here. Amumu comes in, good bandage toss connects onto Rock and Roll Kid, but he's not low enough to really commit. Angel of Night steps forward and expects to actually get jumped on by So Vicious and Rock and Roll Kid, but they are not willing. That is a summoner spell down for mid lane though, and that's real good for Rock and Roll.
Yeah, they definitely got that barrier out of the way early, which you never want. Optimally, you do not want to blow those summoners early, because then that just tells the enemy jungler, hey, you're that much weaker.
Yep. Especially against the likes of an Echo who can really get the jump on you in an unsuspecting way. You need to have that damage mitigation in a position where it's actually going to get consumed. But either way, they're able to even it back out, make sure that they get reset and get back into their rightful positions. Mid lane, a little bit of an advantage in terms of the farm, but not too much there, as the mana on Angel of Night has been dwindling down. Rock and Roll Kid able to keep their mana source high means that he's going to be controlling that mini wave a little bit better and maybe be able to get a push in and potentially roam to one of these side lanes. So far, everyone playing it cool, playing it calm, farming it out.
Yeah, and that's basically what they're doing right now. Brando definitely getting the farm, but punishing this Galio in the process, and that's what you want. That's an ideal lane right there.
Yep, good committal down here on the blue side bottom lane. Guardian Angel's looking to try to get the kill onto Raffle Knife. Not able to find anything there as the exhaust shut down a large portion of the enemy damage, but it was the ignite that really came through and tried to, and it was able to repel that attack there.
Change of summoners bot lane. Unfortunately, it looks like Gloryhound blew all of his summoners there. That's, I don't know. That might not bode well for him here in the next few minutes, especially if those summoners were pinged.
Yep. Especially in a lane where the Leona is looking to dive in and get that damage down. The aggression has been shown for Spaciness and Raffle Knife, and if he's not able to side juke that Zenith Blade, Raffle Knife will be in and getting that damage down immediately. As we watch top lane, Brandel Calrissian trying to get a little bit of a freeze or slow push set up there against Icebound Killer, already growing that minion lead up 16 minions, so really sitting in a nice position in terms of his gold gain, as Icebound Killer is going a double Doran's Ring build on this Galio. A little bit nerfed, but I guess still viable.
As we see by that little bit of damage right there.
Mid lane trade going very well for Rock and Roll Kid, able to actually jump over the Lux Binding with the dash there. Clean trade for him as he steps back. Bottom lane.
Would like,
go ahead.
I would like to point out that Varus did go Vampiric Scepter and does Doran Shield refillable pots too, so he is looking to survive in lane as long as possible.
Yep. Top lane. Looks like Icebound Killer is able to get the chunking down on Brando Calrissian, force him out of this lane, and now this is his window to recover some of that lost CS deficit that he had there, and maybe try to, once again, get back in a good position in this lane. Bottom lane, like you were saying before, looks like Spaciness and Raffle Knife have a good position on the likes of Arrowcross and Gloryhound, just kind of freezing them here in the middle of the lane and making sure that they do not feel comfortable pushing any farther up.
And with that control ward there in the river bush, they don't have vision of anything that's going on except for what's in the try.
Yep, so Vicious trying to get in there and clear out that control ward and the enemy try brush, not really relenting is the likes of Guardian Angel, and the minion wave here is stacked up quite a bit. This is a good position for Raffle Knife to start looking for an engage on either Gloryhound or Arrowcross, especially with the expunge down. We'll see if he ends up stepping up. It looks like he's, for the most part, playing it safe. The enemy team also keeping their distance.
Also, with the Lux roaming down, that kind of put her back a little bit on the terms of the CS, and we see her coming back to lane and just getting punished by Echo as soon as she comes back. I don't think that roam down there was really worth it, especially with 3 members of there already being at full health, jungler, jungler support, and ADC both right there.
Yep,
all 3 right there.
To be done there. Good gank looks like for Angel of Ninja, able to land the Banish Toss once again onto Spaciness, who's able to walk out of this one. Curse of the Sad Mummy thrown down, and it looks like it's Raffle Knife who's in trouble here. Heal comes out, but it's no healing out of that spell, thanks to the likes of the Ignite from Arrowcross, and now he's trying to trade back a little bit more, but Spaciness, it's just too little too late. He's forced to walk away.
And this is where that little bit of extra damage from the Doran's Blade or even a longsword would have been very helpful.
Yep, good trade in here. Once again, Rock and Roll Kid just pushing back Angel of Night back towards their turret. Angel likely to have to recall here after Rock and Roll is able to constantly get to the that Lux pick and really lay down the damage. Bottom lane, a little bit of poke once again from Arrowcross, trying to make sure that Spaciness does not feel comfortable last hitting these minions here over the wall. So Vicious is potentially looking to come in for another gank on the bottom lane, try to equalize the damage that Angel of Night has done, or I'm sorry, Angel of Ninja has done on that last gank, but no good opportunity for him to traverse that terrain.
And that the bot lane on the side of Team 9 still keeping that vision control. I gotta give it to him for keeping it up. A lot of times I have problems keeping a control ward in River Bush.
Yeah, and it's really the thing that allows you to do that is the amount of pressure that you're throwing down in the lane. Just like keeping the wave pushed in a certain position, making sure that you've got the minions manageable, and also making sure that you're taking smart trades. But either way, it looks like Team 9 going for this dragon early on, and it is the Infernal, something that I think that Guardian Angels would definitely want for this Twitch pick late game.
Oh, definitely, and it's a good thing that they picked that up early, because one, that's going to benefit them here in this early going into mid game with the poke and the exchanges and everything like that, and yeah, that's something that you do not want a Twitch to have. Just that extra damage is, especially early on Twitch, something you want to avoid.
Yeah, good on them for picking that one up and preventing it from the Guardian Angels, but that also does help this mid lane, who's going aggressive once again. Flash forced out immediately for Angel of Night. Rock and Roll Kid healing himself back to full with that Echo ultimate, going back to his Shadow. Top lane looks like we've got a bit of a gank here on Icebound Killer. Belly Slam makes contact, and actually the Grand Challenge pot by Fiora as well. Taunt actually prevents him from going down immediately. Flash away gets him out of the fight, so well played there by Icebound Killer to keep his health high and make sure that he walks away with his life.
That's what we did see a Flash come out of the Galio there as well. So he will not be able to have that up in case of another gank. But we do see Galio trying, surviving against this Fiora. Now, kind of unlike what I was thinking, where it was going to be Fiora's just going to be pressuring this Galio the whole time. No, Galio went and got himself a nice pair of Ninja Tabi and is now just able to stay in lane with the Fiora.
Yeah, making some smart moves here in terms of his build choices. The double Doran's Ring keeping that mana nice and high, as well as the Ninja Tabi is reducing that damage. Mid lane, Rock and Roll Kid going aggressive against the likes of Angel of Night. Not able to find anything as he's locked up completely by the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Once again, Angel of Ninja coming in for a superior gank timing.
Definitely at the right place at the right time. That was beautiful. Echo not having the ult. He did have Flash, which I'm surprised he didn't use. I don't know if he thought that there might have just not been enough damage to kill him there, but not having that ult up, that quick escape and that health return, that definitely costed him there.
Yeah, that aggressive playstyle that he's been going for has been punished. Does finish up the Proto Belt for a little bit more burst and a little bit more ability on the Echo in the mid lane now. Bottom lane, Angel of Ninja looking to see if he can't find a good gank on the likes of Raffle Knife and Spaciness, but these guys have that ward coverage that you talked about before, and they're able to just position themselves well so that they cannot be jumped on.
I will give it to this bot lane. It's like that they know that this lane is quite literally what this game is going to rely on how this game is going to turn out. We see board controls both sides actually. Even in the lane bushes, we see control wards going out for little surprises, like a Gragas in the bush.
Yeah, trying to get that lane gank off, but I think that the Guardian Angels smell that there might be something up. They're positioning themselves so far back now. No, walking up. It looks like they might end up getting themselves in a fight there, but it's not going to quite happen before Brando Calrissian goes in for yet another trade. Glory Hound stepping up here. Gonna get completely obliterated by all of this CC. I'm not quite sure what he was planning on going, but he does get himself killed top lane now. Brando Calrissian flashing away from that counter gank, or that gank in general, for once again Angel of Ninja, who has been doing a fantastic job just showing up like a superhero.
Definitely. Angel of Ninja always where he needs to be, quite literally at all times. It seems like there hasn't been a single time where there has been pressure from Gragas and he hasn't been countering it or has actually been there.
Yep, top lane looks like they're trying to finish off this top lane outer turret. Stun goes down from Rock and Roll Kid, able to pick up one kill on the on the Amumu, continuing on to Icebound Killer, trying to get that third proc to see if he can't get the movement speed and really stick to this guy. Almost gives them the third proc with that taunt and slowing himself down. He actually stops moving during the time of that taunt. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it does get him killed. Bottom lane, this is an ambitious play out of the Karma here, trying to see if he can't bait in the Varus. He does successfully get the kill for his team. And now, Raffle Knife, the second one to go down. 2 kills now to Gloryhound, who definitely needs that money as much as possible.
Gloryhound on that Twitch, now 3-1, is going to start becoming a big threat, especially him having that completed Blade of the Ruined King. It was used there.
Yep.
And good play by the Karma though, and especially with getting out. Even if he hadn't have gotten out of that, I believe Gloryhound still would have picked up the double there.
Yeah, Gloryhound, fantastic damage from him right now, but it was really Arrowcross setting up that bait, using the entirety of their health bar to make sure that Spaciness and Raffle Knife burned almost all of their cooldowns on him. Slip back out of that fight. Now Gloryhound with that turret gold will be able to head back to base, pick himself up pretty much whatever he wants. Likely to be some boots though, as it's getting to that mid-game phase and he needs to start making these rotations and looking for picks in the enemy jungle and in the river. But either way, it's got plenty of gold to work with here. Control wards going down in the tri-brush there as Raffle Knife has found a window to clear out some of the enemy vision. Stealth dropped by Gloryhound as he steps forward looking for some potential damage on Raffle Knife. Ping going down towards Angel of Ninja saying, hey, we can probably catch this guy, but Gloryhound mispositions himself. Retreat pings going out for the blue team here now as the rest of the enemy shows up. So Vicious showing up with the explosive cask, knocks him into the enemy team. He's able to curse the sad mummy and flash over the wall. Are you kidding me? Ward goes down for the TP as Gloryhound steps forward, still wanting to get the kill on Raffle Knife, who's standing there on the brush, isolating himself from the rest of his team. He's forced to flash the wall now. Good flash in from Galileo, keeps these guys in the line of fire for Lux, who picks up a kill on the Gragas, and now they're chasing into the enemy jungle. Rock and Roll Kid, the caboose of the train here, just says, hey, Spaciness, spot positions for me. I don't have to run too fast, just faster than you. And they both make it out regardless.
And that's gonna be an Infernal picked up for GA, an Infernal on that already deadly Twitch.
Yeah, really scaling well. He didn't actually buy anything. I thought he went back to base, but he canceled that recall. That's right, he canceled the recall and started sniffing around the river. Now sitting on almost 1,600 gold. He's gonna be able to get himself quite some good items. What do you think he's going for here on the next purchase?
I was thinking maybe something with a little bit of lifesteal, but honestly at this point with how much damage he already does, I would say a pair of boots. He's going to need it, especially to get around and position himself better while he's stealthed.
Yep. Arrowcross stepping into the enemy jungle to get some deep vision. Decides to throw a couple abilities towards So Vicious, but doesn't make contact with anything meaningful. Good poke going down onto this Gragas, though. 2-man lockup by the light binding, but still out of range underneath the turret. They're not willing to step up into the range of the tower because the CC available on Raffle Knife and Spaciness is still very much a threat. Now it looks like the game has shifted towards a mid lane focus. These players really want to take out this last outer turret, and Team 9 really does not want to give it up. Rift Herald take no steal here out of the Gragas. So Vicious now caught in the CC storm as they lock him up completely. Angel of Night throwing down good burst damage onto Rock and Roll Kid, who does not use his ultimate to heal there and instead will maybe recall back to base. No, he's just going to hang out with the rest of his team and defend this turret. Brando Calrissian, who had already taken out the Angel of Night top lane, the Guardian Angel top lane outer turret, is now looking for the bot lane one. No, he's going to recall here and not push this. Okay. I guess he sees that top lane Rift Herald threat and he's going to go to defend it.
And I do want to point out, great objective control on the side of GA. They were able to pick up those kills in the bot side river and then just take everything, while Team 9 is sitting there focusing on mid. Amumu and Galileo is able to pick up Rift Herald with little to no problem.
Great split focus, like you were saying, just drawing the eye of the enemy team somewhere while you take something else on the map. Beautiful to see that sort of control coming out of these guys, and immediately they turn that Rift Herald into another source of gold. Using it to take that top lane inner turret is a fantastic option for them, so good to see them rotating to that one so quickly. Despite those two victories, though, sitting at the 20-minute mark, Guardian Angels are still up. Actually, no, I'm getting my teams mixed up. Because they have that objective control, they're sitting up 3K. Definitely in a good position for this mid-game phase.
Yeah, definitely where they want to be, and the kills are on the players that you want those kills on, the mid lane and the ADC. We see Lux 2-0, Twitch 3-1.
Yep.
They're definitely going to be really strong to deal with, and Team 9 is just really going to have to pick and choose the battles from basically this point out until they have closed that gap in objectives and gold.
And it feels like the issue that Team 9 is having is they don't have a position where they can really jump on anybody, where they can really get a good layering of CC down, not only because the kite comp of Guardian Angels is so front-loaded with CC, but because their main engage tool, their Gragas right now, is sitting... He's got no tank items under his belt. He's got the what is this, Runic Echoes under his belt, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. The Ninja Tabi and a null magic mantle.
All right, jump in from Angel of Ninja. Good. Curse of the Sad Mummy will lock up and take out Leona immediately, continuing to dive underneath this turret here. Twitch actually had the turret aggro for a bit, but the rest of the team's able to clean up the tower and step towards this mid lane inner. The entire time, though, bottom lane, Brando Calrissian is performing an expertly executed split push maneuver. Just making sure that he can take these other objectives while Guardian Angels is very, very frontal focused. So good on him to keep his team in the game with these side turrets.
Definitely Team 9 doing whatever they can to keep Guardian Angels distracted while Brando is split pushing. But at the same time, though, those kills are still going on to the Twitch and the Lux, and they're going to become powerhouses. And once it gets to that point, how much split pushing is going to be needed to make up for that?
It's very true. Right now, it looks like Guardian Angels aren't paying him any mind, but as he gets closer to the enemy base and it becomes a longer walk for him to actually get to another structure, it's going to become very difficult for him to keep making that split push happen, especially since Guardian Angels can just recall and answer to that. So hopefully his team's in a position where they can actually pick up something like a Baron and react to the pressure that he's throwing down here, because I think that he's in a good position, at least well enough to where Icebound Killer's Galio cannot fight him in a 1v1. That being said, Arrow Cross getting a little bit caught out in the enemy jungle. He's going to bounce away. No chase from Rock and Roll Kid and So Vicious. Not able to steal away that blue buff either with that empowered Q. So either way, just throwing down some harass on the enemy team and looking to poke their health bars out of his setup for this Infernal Drake.
Now, Team 9 has no vision of this dragon whatsoever. They don't know what could possibly, because with the Mumu standing right there, they're like, are they doing it or not? Mumu doesn't even have to be there to help them with the dragon.
Yep. Free Infernal yet again. That's the third and last Infernal for the game, I believe. So 2 Infernals going to this team that has the gold on their carries is fantastic, but they're able to get the jump on the support Karma. Not able to take him down, though. Leona jumping onto Glory Hound in the back line. Can't quite stop the damage output, but he's throwing down. Looks like Rock and Roll Kid able to get the shutdown gold onto Lux. The 1v1 a little bit here in the middle of the team fight against 80 carries. Twitch the victor of that one thanks to the resistances granted by Galio's heroic entrance. Rock and Roll Kid picks up a second kill on Arrow Cross, but now he's in a position where he needs to make sure he exits the fight and gets away with his life. Cask thrown down by Glory Hound. Good damage, actually picks up the kill there as Rock and Roll Kid's looking to escape. Parallel Convergence can't protect him quickly enough as the minion damage combined with the ticking poison from Twitch last hits the kill.
Rock and Roll Kid, definitely good job finding those that were caught out and picking them off. As for the rest of Team 9, it kind of seemed like it was chaos on who they wanted to decide who they were going to go in. Gragas chasing down the Lux while Leona went on the Twitch. If Gragas and Leona had both been on the Twitch, he would have gone down a lot sooner and had gotten a lot less gold and kills from that team fight.
Very, very true. And I want to point your attention towards something that I'm just now noticing here. Merktred's built up on this Twitch. He knows that he's going to have CC thrown at him, and he wants to negate it as best as possible. Final spark thrown down on Gragas, sorry. So Vicious is still able to walk away with his life thanks to that Spectre's Cowl, giving him the additional magic resist that he needs. Mid lane now under pressure yet again as Angel of Night steps up looking for whatever poke they can get. Turret still pretty high health though. These guys may not want to continue looking for this tower just yet. Not when they've got a Baron fully available to them. Fiora rotating up means that maybe it's not the best option for them to go to right now though. And the mid lane focus will continue here. Brando Calrissian TP is definitely available, but he's looking to maybe try to enter the fight and get a flanking position. That might signal that these guys are going to go aggressive very soon. You see Rock and Roll Kid stepping forward, looking to react to whatever play that these frontal tanks have to throw down. Pause comes out, though, and these guys may be having a little bit of a technical problem. We'll find out what's going on with them, and we'll get back in the game as soon as possible. Yeah, it looks like Rock and Roll Kid just having a little bit of lag. We're waiting for that one to pass, but what do you think about this game so far, Huppilicious?
Well, on the side of GA, they got the Rift Herald. They have 2 Infernal Drakes. They do have 1 tower up there. They're up 3.7k gold right now. I think when we last looked, what was it? About over 4? I believe it was the last time we looked.
Yeah, I think they've got a decent, roughly 4k gold lead here.
So, what we're seeing is that they're playing evenly. They're exchanging gold for gold still. There's not really much of an increase or a deficit, which you can definitely tell Raffle is trying to play more defensive. They know they're not in a position where they can just do whatever they want.
Yep, jump in by Angel of Ninja, looking to get the damage down. They actually take out Lux before she's able to throw down the final spark. Good damage coming out of the Twitch, who's yet to go down. Finally, they pick up the kill here. Fiora throws down the Grand Challenge, able to last hit a Mumu on the back of the fight here. And now it's Icebound Killer, the final one to fall as they get the engage that they're looking for. Angel of Ninja, too zealous, does not put his team in a good position. Or his team's not able to be in a good position for the counter engage, and they're able to jump on the back line instantly.
Definitely exactly what Team 9 needed, was to just sit there and bide their time and wait for that one misstep to capitalize on. Because as we saw in that team fight, immediately after the Curse of the Mummy went down, Grace and Leona both jumped onto that Twitch and locked him up. We heard the ult go off, but there's very little damage to come out of it.
Yep. Lux also dying in the very beginning of that fight meant that they could not throw down any of their abilities and deal the damage that their team so desperately needs. Lux is kind of like the person who softens them up, and then Twitch does all the cleanup for the rest of the fight, since he's got very non-stagnant damage, something that he can kind of reposition and aim. But either way, Lux going down there meant that they just did not have the damage to finish off that one. I have to believe if the Lucent Singularity and Ultimate had gone off before they died to the burst, I think they actually could have won that fight, but since it didn't come through, they just get nothing and get absolutely obliterated.
No, they definitely need the CC from the Lux and from the Karma to be where it needs to be, and if one of them are dead or out of position, then they don't have they don't have the team fight. It's what it seems like.
Yep. And with that extra team fight gold, 2 turrets taken away, 3 turrets, sorry. Raffle Knife able to purchase the Locket of the Iron Solari, a crucial item for these team fights considering how much AoE damage is coming down from the Guardian Angels.
Now, we did see him start off with the Relic Shield. I'm questioning why he didn't go with the Face of the Mountain. It would have been very beneficial in lane early to save his teammate, but
Over the wall goes Gragas, so vicious, looking for an engage, not able to find a good bounce on that explosive cask, ends up just knocking Glory Hound away, but either way, he's definitely feeling more comfortable in this matchup, wanting to make sure that he can get this Twitch put in a bad position and have his team jump on him. Once again, pressure getting thrown down bottom lane by Brando Calrissian. Mid lane root goes down, followed up by the bandage toss by Amumu, able to lock up Gragas for quite an extended period of time. Bottom lane, Brando going aggressive against Icebound Killer underneath the turret. He cannot finish off the Grand Challenge, which means that he likely has to leave this lane. Spaciness going very low, is able to get out though. Binding comes through to lock up Leona around the corner. Raffle Knife forced to step towards the turret. The person taking this tower is actually Glory Hound, and he's not able to pursue underneath the turret because of it. Do have a window where they can get some damage down on this mid lane inner tower, though. Binding going through, once again, Rock and Roll Kid forced to dash out of that one. Make sure that he doesn't take too much damage, as he needs to be there for when his team regroups. Otherwise, he ends up putting himself on a really weird back timing, and they can never really get a clean fight that they really need. Once again, Team 9 needing to have that clean engage, because as we saw before, if they get the engage, these guys can really do some work.
oh, definitely. And with that team fight, we see that the gold difference has dropped to next to nothing.
Instantly vanishing there as the Guardian Angels pick up their third dragon of the game. 2 Infernal, 1 Mountain means that they obliterate this Baron buff. A little bit of a questionable call here as Team 9 starts the Baron attempt, and they just do not have the damage to finish this thing. They need to step off this thing absolutely immediately, because Galio can just step in like he's doing and put the team in a bad position. Good 3-man stun from the parallel convergence, though. Angel of Night forced to flash out, but they're able to protect Glory Hound, who's still shooting. He's still firing, and he picks up 1 kill before going down, still doing massive damage to the enemy team, but will it be enough? 3 kills now for Team 9. 2 members only left for the Guardian Angels, as Fiora is able to slice through these tanks quite well. Amumu being a sacrificial lamb on the front lines as he opens up the window for the rest of his team to do a bit more damage.
Unfortunately, I would like to point out, even though they did go 3-3. 3 kills for 3 kills. Baron was stopped. Neither team can get it now, which I think is what GA was trying to do. I don't think they were actually trying to get it for themselves at that point, but just to try to make them, to get them to stop it. But just seeing the power difference between these two ADCs right now. Spaciness didn't get a kill. Oh no, he did pick off. He did get the Amumu kill there that fight. That being his first kill this game.
Finally getting one under his belt. No longer the support AD carry. He can now get himself some decent items, and if I'm not mistaken, it looks like he's going for a Rage Blade pickup next. At least that's what the recurved bow pickaxe buy suggests to me. And how do you feel about that? Because that's not something we typically see. Maybe it's the new thing on Varus.
I have not seen a whole lot of Varus played recently with everyone playing Caitlyn or Twitch. I actually don't know how that would work out. It definitely increases your attack speed, but for what purpose?
Very true. Bottom lane, Brando Calrissian looking for this kill onto Galio, and look how much damage he's able to do with those procs of the Vitals. Just taking him down with about 5 Vital procs. Mid lane, it looks like Angel of Ninja stepping too far forward. Chains of Corruption get thrown down on him immediately, but he's not taking as much damage as you'd suspect. A Righteous Glory thrown down as well to try to keep him healed up. Redemption thrown down. Angel of Ninja still alive in the middle of this bloodbath as Arrowcross steps forward looking to try to continue the brawl. Glory Hound stepping in as well. Raffle Knife now in trouble. Had the lock of the Iron Solari. Maybe the cooldown was not up in time to save the other 2 teammates, but pops it in at the end of the battle to try to keep themselves alive. 3 kills to 2 picked up for the likes of Guardian Angels.
And we do see, despite that, downside for Team 9 there in mid lane, both the side lanes have been pushed out once again, which I gotta say, given the position that Team 9 is in, they have excellent control of the sideways in this late game.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of that is due to the fact that Brando Calrissian is very comfortable playing that separation from the team split push dueling playstyle. He's been doing a great job of controlling those waves with his Ravenous Hydra, and just making sure that he is constantly sending waves towards the enemy. All right, once again, game shifting towards that mid lane focus. It feels like the Guardian Angels really want to try to continually get poked down on the likes of Team 9. Team 9, though, definitely in a position to resist a lot of that poke. There's a good amount of magic resist coming out from their team comp, and that really helps them weather the storm very well. Right. Looks like pressure has shifted just a bit, a little bit of lockdown onto So Vicious, but Vicious is, once again, he's sitting on almost 3 magic resist items finished up here because he knows that if he gets bursted out by the Lux, he cannot be useful to his team. He's got to prefer the magic resist right now over the armor that he so desperately needs against this Twitch, because if he gets taken out by the Lux at the beginning of the fight, he can't do anything to Twitch at the end of the fight or in the middle stages of the fight. So he's got to be willing to eat a little bit more damage on the Twitch side so he can actually tank that Twitch. Mid lane, Bandage Toss from Angel of Ninja does not connect against anyone, as once again the mid lane dance, the mid lane waltz begins yet again. Top lane, the pressure being thrown down to Brando Calrissian, drawing in Icebound Killer. Good bandage toss from the binding onto Raffle Knife, and look at the patience that both of these teams are exhibiting here. They do not want to fully commit on that support Leona because they know they will not have the cooldowns to get to the damage dealers. And they also want to wait out and make sure that they're willing to sacrifice this Leona, actually, because they know that Brando Calrissian wins against this Galio very often here. Look at the amount of true damage he's able to do. Ultimate gets popped as he's able to heal himself up a little bit more. The rest of Guardian Angels regrouping on him here. Over the wall, they switch positions? What? That's a mechanic? Are you kidding me? He's able to get to the rest of the team. He might be able to walk out with his life. I can't even tell where he is now. But he's just in a whole bullet hell storm of blood and murder. Good Hero's Entrance going to protect the rest of the backline. For Guardian Angels, they sacrifice the Mumu on the front end of the fight, but they still have a lot of health available on these damage dealers. Then they force out spaciness, and Brando Calrissian, who's sitting at half life? What is this? He walked into the middle of a crossfire and walks out with half life. No Guardian Angel pop.
I just thought that little interaction there with Brando dashing over the wall right as a Mumu bandage landed on him. They both went to the opposite sides of the wall that they were trying to get over, and
yeah.
I'm sorry, it was really entertaining.
I was like, what is this? He's ganked. Let this man die.
Oh, that man does not want to die.
No, not today.
Not today. Oh, and we do see a 100 CS lead in our top laners.
Yep. Once again, that side lane pressure allowing him to continually build up that farm bank and extend that farm lead. Brando Calrissian, Fiora is just a ridiculous champion. Any other champion in that situation in the top lane would have died to that gank, but Fiora makes it happen. But either way, it looks like pressure being thrown down immediately on this Elder Dragon. Guardian Angels in position to take it immediately with no map movement whatsoever from Team 9, and now they've got to deal with a team who not only has late-game hyperscalers and a lot of protection, but they've got the doubling effect and additional true damage on this Dragon buff. They're going to go for a very late Baron take here, but we'll see how it goes down. Initial stun gets burned on Arrow Cross. Amumu jumps in, able to get a good CC down on 3 members of the enemy team. No lockdown on Glory Hound. He's continually throwing down shots. He finally gets bounced in, but he just does not care. The rest of the team fight going fairly well. as my mouse bugs out and I just zoom my camera all over the place. I apologize profusely. Triple kill here for Angel of Night, and now Guardian Angels can just pick up a Baron and potentially look to close this match. Oh man, so much gold lead now for these guys, jumping up 5K over the course of that Baron take and that successful team fight. These guys looking to once again put pressure down on the enemy lanes, and now they've got every buff they could ever wish for, both Baron and Elder Dragon, with two Infernals and a Mountain. These guys are strong. You do not want to team fight them.
No, this is definitely, we need to clear the wave and wait out this buff. They do not want to fight, especially with Elder on.
These guys are recalling, giving up so much of their Baron and Dragon time. No! Your power spike window, their power play has come to an end again, I guess, as these guys retreat, try to manage their side minion waves. I have to imagine that it was Brando Calrissian who set up that big bottom push with the minions, and I guess these guys are looking to regroup after this one, push towards the mid lane, and try to break that base open.
And we do indeed see a Rage Blade coming from Spaciness.
I like it. I think it's spicy. I've tried it myself, and I have to say I like it a lot. But that being said, these guys just absolutely murder these turrets, so unless you really have the hard engage prepared and you try to get someone underneath this tower, there's not going to be much that they can do about this push. Look at the amount of chunking going down on Spaciness, and the additional burn is just adding on to that. Ultimate gets thrown down by Lux, and the final spark just adds enough damage to take out Raffle Knife on the front end. Explosive Cast pushes Glory Hound away from the fight and does not isolate him, so they just continue to push in. So much sustain available for the likes of the Guardian Angels, and they're just going to continue in with their Baron buff minions. Flash forward from Angel of Ninja does not allow that bandage toss to connect. Brando Calrissian dashes forward aggressively, just trying to posture and open up some space for his damage dealers to do something, anything for him, but there's just too much damage available for the enemy team. Enemy Nexus is down to half health, and it's going to be the Guardian Angels walking away with the Game 1 victory.
Good game.
Definitely a good game here. These guys played a fantastic match, and even though they were not able to play around the amount of side lane pressure that Brando Calrissian was putting down, the Team NEIN showed some signs of brilliance. We saw it with that team fight, so they were definitely in the game still, but they were just not able to bring it home in the end.
No, definitely not. We definitely saw one good team fight come from Team NEIN, and they just utterly destroyed Guardian Angel, and they just could not seem to replicate it after that. It was as soon as enough poke went down on Team NEIN, Angel of Night just went in and said, no, you guys are dying here. We're not having that happen again. And they made it work.
Definitely did, and some deficiencies that have been shown there by Team NEIN, some things that they can probably work on. They've got to make sure that they coordinate their vision control a little bit better, because Guardian Angels have shown that they are a team that is very willing to go for these neutral objectives very quickly, as shown by them able to get the basically 3 dragons back to back to back, and that's what allowed them to go and close the game so easily. Being able to get Infernal, Mountain into Elder, and then clean up the Baron fight is just something you can't allow. That being said, guys, we're going to set up for game number 2, though. Congratulations once again to Team Guardian Angels taking away your Game 1 victory, but you've still got some work to do. Team NEIN stepping into the locker room now to prepare for game number 2. We'll be back in a couple of minutes as these guys get reset and ready to roll.